Hello everybody, my name is Marlo and today I'm going to show you how to build this survival house in Minecraft 1.17. Now some of you may recognize this house because it's actually the first build I made in my new hardcore series that I've just started on my channel. So if you would like to see some more of that or just some more tutorials like this one here, please feel free to subscribe. It doesn't cost a single thing. Before we start the actual tutorial, let's go through our materials list. So we'll start off at the top with all of these deep slate blocks that we're going to be using, and I'm just going to scroll over these individually so you can see what they're all named. As this is a fairly new block to the game, you may not be able to tell what each variant is just by looking at it, and you might need to read instead. So that's all of the deep slate we're going to be using. We're then going to be adding in some calcite, mixing in some diorite and polished diorite, as well as a couple of stairs for those two, and then we also need some cut copper stairs for our roof. Of course, you could wax this if you wanted to. Just below that we have all of the dark oak variants that we're going to be using, along with 7 oak trapdoors, and then just underneath that we have all of the spruce blocks that we're going to be using, and on this last row here we just have a couple of the miscellaneous items. And then lastly over here in this little spot are just all of the blocks that are going to be helpful in survival. And then last but not least we have a goat. That is because there's going to be a small little pen beside the house that I myself am going to put a goat into, but you could always put a horse or a cow or a chicken, anything you'd like really, just some sort of animal to go there. Starting off with the foundation of the build, we want to grab our cobbled deep slate and face where we want the front of the house to be and add a line of 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 of those blocks. We can then stick a wall either side of it and then come around to the left hand side of the build and add in 1, 2 and 3 more with another wall here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 blocks again with a final wall over here. We can then switch over to our deep slate bricks and we're basically just going to make a 3x3 square like that, and there we go, that's the foundation of the build. For the cobbled section over here, and that includes the wall, we're just going to bring these up by 2 additional blocks going all the way around, just like I'm doing here. And I should probably mention, we're going to build all of these blocks out of the cobbled and just the regular bricks and add in the texture afterwards with all of the other variations. And we do that because it just makes it a whole lot easier. So now what we can do is come to these 2 spots here with our deep slate brick walls, and we're going to go up by 10 walls. So we've already got one placed down here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. And on top of that 10th one we're going to have a full block with a slab on top of that one. And then we can do the same over here. And then for the other 2 corners, just beside our cobbled brick wall, we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 full blocks on both of these. And then on top of them, we're going to have 1, 2, and 3 walls so that we bring them up to the same level. And once again, a full block and then a slab on top. As for the sections in the middle of all of these, we're going to start off with the one at the back here in between the 2 full blocks, and we're going to go all the way up basically until we reach the highest point just below this top wall here. So I believe that is 9 in total, and then we can have a chiseled deep slate on top of that one with a stair facing outwards just like that. And then we can also do the same round for the front side here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9 all the way up to this level, and then have a chiseled deep slate with of course a stair on top. As for the 2 remaining sides, we're going to start off with a brick stair facing into the house so that the wall connects on the back of the block like that. And on top of that one, we'll have 1 and 2 full blocks with another stair. And then on top of that one, an upside down stair. A little bit tricky to place, but you should get something that looks like that. And then we're going to have 1, 2, 3, and 4 full blocks with a chiseled deep slate on top. And once again, another stair facing outwards. Once you've done that for the other side too, we can then grab our stripped dark oak wood, which is simply just a stripped dark oak log crafted in a 2x2 square in a crafting bench to give you this one. That doesn't have this texture. So what we can do with that is just very simply place it on top of all of the wall blocks here on all 4 corners, and then on top of that one we're going to have 1, 2 and 3 of the regular stripped dark oak logs. And once you've got all of those placed down, what we basically want to do then is just fill in all all of these areas with our calcite blocks, so they should be 4 blocks high. We're going to punch out the windows and everything afterwards, I should probably mention, but just go around to all 3 sides here, obviously not this one because we've got our tower, and fill it all in with calcite, or diorite if you don't have much of this. What we're then going to do is come around to the left hand side of the build, this shorter side over here opposite the tower, and we're going to have a dark oak stair upside down on the top of both of those logs with a regular one coming out of the back of it, and then basically we just want to staircase our way up all the way until we eventually meet in the middle, just like this, where we can have a single upside down stair. You can also go ahead and chuck in 3 calcite back there to fully fill in that wall. But now what we can do is come to either the front or the back, doesn't matter at the moment, and we're going to have an upside down stair facing this way, as well as one facing this way on the top of this log, and just have a line of 5 dark oak slabs. You can also have another dark oak stair facing the same way as this one, so we want to place it as though we're facing towards the tower. An upside down one off the back, and obviously we can't really complete the roof over here because we have the tower in the way, so we're just going to connect it to the deep slate block like that. And you can pretty much just copy what you've done here round to the back as well. And once you've got that done, what you can do then is grab your dark oak slab and have one on top of this highest stair and bring it out by an extra block, and then just bring it all the way across until you eventually reach a tower over here on this side. Now we can go ahead and fill the roof in using our copper stairs. Now of course these will eventually become exposed, weathered and then oxidized, but if you want to stop that from happening, you can use some honeycombs on them in a crafting table to keep them in this state. But I think personally it's going to look pretty cool seeing it change over time. So here's the general shape of the building, which is looking pretty good, but we're definitely missing some things like windows and a doorway. So let's go ahead and add them in now. We'll start at the front of the house here, and you just want to gather all of these blocks that I'm scrolling across on my hotbar. And we're going to begin with our spruce doorway, which is going to be going right here. So 1, 2 and 3 blocks inwards, and we're going to place it on the back of that grass block. Just above that one, we're going to change this full block out for an upside down stair. Then go across by 1 and 2 blocks, get rid of these 2, stair at the bottom, spruce fence just above it. And then we can look up to the calcite here and break these 2 blocks as well as these 2 and replace them with our grey stained glass panes. And just underneath this left one here, we're going to have either a polished diorite stair or a regular one, doesn't really matter. But then we can come around to the left hand side here and break away these 2 blocks. And on the top one, we're going to have an upside down stair, and underneath it, we're going to have an oak trap door as another window. And then just above it on the calcite, we're going to break 1, 2 and 3 of those blocks. The top 2 can be our windows, and then the bottom one can just be whichever diorite stair you have remaining. And finally, on this last side here, we're going to break these 6 blocks and have a big old window next to the calcite. And then just below it here, we're going to break these 6 blocks, have some upside down stairs at the top, regular stairs at the bottom, with 2 spruce fences in the middle. Next up, we're going to build the animal pen going over on this side of the build, and we'll start off with our spruce fence gates next to the walls here. So we're going to have 2 there and another 2 over here. We can then have a wall next to them, which should bring it down level to the other fence gate, and then 3 more in the center here. And then we can have a regular spruce fence on top of both of the walls with a stair on top of both of them facing outwards, so place them when you're looking at the building. And then we're going to have a slab next to both of those with another stair in the middle. And just in front of that, we're going to have a line of slabs going all the way across like that. And what we can then do in front of all of the stairs here is have a spruce trap door. We can actually just hop inside real quick, and facing the slabs, not the trapdoors, the slabs just below it, we want to add in another 3 trapdoors, just where we have the other ones already placed down. So as you can see, they should be slightly lower than the higher up ones here. And on top of those trapdoors, we're going to have 3 spruce stairs, and in the middle here, 2 spruce slabs. So as you can see, that's the animal pen all done. Here's what the roof looks like from the outside, and it should look like this from underneath. Now, of course, whatever's going to be living inside of here is going to need something to drink, so we're going to go ahead and break this block underneath the trap door and just replace whatever is in the floor with some more cobbled deep slate, have a cauldron here, and of course go ahead and fill it with water. You're actually going to be able to refill it from the inside. Not that they're actually going to drink it, but use your imagination a little bit. I think it's fun to do stuff like this. So now what we can do is grab some oak trapdoors, and just next to the stair here, we want to place one of them in front of the log, as well as round the back here. And then we want to do a similar thing over here on this corner, but we're going to have two of them like so, as well as on the front, just like that. So now would probably be a pretty good time to start adding in some texture to our build here. But before we do that, very quickly, we just want to hop inside of the building here and just look up to the ceiling, and underneath all of this dark oak slabs, we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 calcite blocks. That will look a little bit better later on. Do bear with me. So now we can go ahead and add in some texture. So what we want to do here on the section with the cobbled deep slate, we just want to mix in some regular deep slate. Now this doesn't come in stair variations nor walls, so you're only going to be able to change out the solid blocks. But what you can do over on the tower here with the deep slate bricks is mix in some cracked deep slate bricks, which same again doesn't have the wall or the stair variation. However, the deep slate tiles do, so you can change out the full blocks as well as some of the walls and also a couple of the stairs. So pretty much just do this for the entire building, but not before I tell you what to do with the calcite, because I nearly forgot that bit. No, what we're going to do here is pretty much very simply, as you may have guessed, just mix in a little bit of polished diorite and some regular, not really going too over the top, just a little bit, maybe something a bit like that. It's kind of up to you how much you want to do. There we go, that's looking a little bit better, isn't it? Just make sure you've actually done, every block, like the slabs and the stairs up the top here, as well as all of the blocks that you can't see from the outside. So this wall of the tower and the 5 that we've just placed down. It may honestly be easier to do this from the inside. So now we can go around and start adding in some detail to all of the walls here. And we'll start around the front. So the first thing we're going to do is have 2 spruce trapdoors just to the left of this windows to make some nice shutters. And then what we can do, just beside this window, below it here, we're going to have 2 slabs with a spruce trapdoor in the middle. 2 spruce fences on top of that one, with 2 stairs facing outwards just like that on top of the fences, and then another slab in the middle here. And finally, we just want to stick a flower pot on top of this trapdoor with something to go inside of it, of course. For this side round here, super simply, we just want to stand on top of this roof, have a chain hanging from that block with a lantern just below, a trapdoor on top of this top block, and then a spruce fence gate below it, and open that one on up. As for the final side round the back here, we're going to start off by having a line of slabs just underneath this window, with 2 upside down spruce stairs coming off the side of them just like that. 2 spruce fences on top of these, with another stair facing outwards just like this, pretty much what we did around the front but on a longer scale. And then we're going to have 3 slabs going across the middle, and then lastly we just want to have a flower pot here, another one here, and once again some flowers to go inside of them. So there we go, that is the outside of the build all done. We're now ready to head inside and start work on the interior. So the first thing to do inside of here is to break some blocks on this side of the tower. We'll start with 2 at the bottom here, leave this one, and then break 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to have a slab just at the top and a stair just on top of this one. This is going to be on 2 different levels to the building, and we can access them via a ladder is one of the ways. So we just want to add this all the way in until the very top of the tower here, excluding this last block, which is just the back of the stair. We instead want to have a dark oak trapdoor, which you can actually climb up, and then once you're up here, you can just flip this open and you got a great view of your surroundings. So that's one way to access the different stories as well as the top. We are going to add in a staircase in a second, but before we do that, we just want to go ahead and break all of the blocks here on the floor and replace them with our stripped dark oak logs, just as I'm doing here, to fill this all in very nicely, looking much better than the dirt that was here before. Now you can go ahead and grab your spruce stairs, and the first one is going to go here in the center of this wall, the one with 2 spruce fences as windows, and the next one here can just go in front of that fence, and then the third one up here. we do just want to add in a trapdoor underneath these 2 blocks, just like that. And then from this top block, in line with the top of the stair, we just basically want to fill the rest of the ceiling in with spruce slabs, and then this block. So you should leave out 1, 2, and 3, and then 4 of these, so you can actually access the staircase like so. But now we can come up to the second level here, and real quick, in front of all of these copper blocks, we're going to add in 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 barrels on either side, facing forwards just as some storage, and we're just going to stick them on top of some shelves. Try not to go down the staircase as you do this here, but these are just some spruce trapdoors underneath all of the barrels. We may as well finish furnishing this top level whilst we're already up here. So the first thing we're going to do is add in a double chest here with 1 more just on top of it. And then we can actually go ahead and break this slab, and we're going to add in a barrel upside down for no other reason than it just looks a little bit nicer, because our bed is going to go just in front of it, and we're also going to have a lantern just on top. So this kind of looks like a table maybe instead of an actual barrel, even though you can blatantly tell. We're going to have a chest just at the foot of the bed here with another barrel, a regular one just like that, and then another chest just on top. And then the last thing you can do is add in some item frames on the ceiling of the building. That way you can kind of label what goes in the barrels here. As for the bottom floor here, the first thing we're going to do is place in a blast furnace just in front of this spruce fence with a regular furnace either side of it. We're going to have a stone cutter here just to the right of the doorway, and a crafting table here over in this corner. We're going to put a flower pot on top of the crafting bench, and then we're also going to have a lantern on top of this back furnace. And that, everybody, is the interior all done. However, there's one last thing to place down which I forgot on the outside of the build, and that is actually just a lantern hanging from the bottom of that slab there, so we can light up our animal pen, which I guess you can go ahead and put an animal inside of now. So there we go, everybody, that is the tutorial all done. I really hope it's helped you out and that you enjoyed watching, and I also hope you are loving the new update. I certainly am, it's tons of fun. But thank you everybody so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.